All right, round two with dealing with basically finding empirical formulas. This time we're going to do it with a hydrate. So this is a chemical, if you recall from our naming system, where we have a chemical that is hygroscopic and it absorbs moisture from the air. We want to find the number of moles of water it absorbs per mole of chemical. So to do that, the first thing we want to do is find the mass of this empty crucible. So you will want to write that down as 22.905. 22.905 grams. Now we're going to add some of the chemical to it. Let's just make sure we close that and we get, let's see what we get. 22.905. 22.906. Well, let's change it. I'm fine with that. Now we're going to add the chemical to it. The way we do that is we're using a little scoopula. We're going to add 2 scoops to it. 1, 2. I'm going to mix that around in there. I can get that dried out pretty quickly. Then we're going to get that mess. So now it's 27.957. 27.957. Oh, that's a terrible glare. 27.95. Let's close the lid. 27.956. Looks like it's going to stay there. Cool. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to set what is called a clay triangle. Basically, it's a triangle. We set it here. Then we are going to place our crucible on there, and we are going to light this Bunsen burner underneath of it. And then we're going to heat that up for 5 minutes. What this is going to do is this is going to vaporize all of the water out of it. So I'm going to readjust this very carefully so I don't burn my finger, so that the tip of that blue flame is right there at the bottom of that crucible. I'm not going to have you watch this, but I do want you to see what the color looks like on the inside real quick. Nice and blue, and what you'll see is it starts to turn white whenever we lose all of the moisture. So I don't want this camera to catch fire, so I'm going to go ahead and turn it off now and move it. So you can see it's turned pretty much white. There's a little bit of areas there, but I'm going to go ahead and start the cool process and weigh it. We've turned off the flame, and now we have this cooling for about 5 minutes. So at this point, I have moved over our, I have moved over our product onto the scale after it's cooled for 5 minutes. And as you can see, we've got 26.131 grams, and that is the mass of just the crucible and the copper 2 sulfate. We have vaporized off the water from the hydrate, so now you have the mass of just the crucible and the copper 2 sulfate. You should be able to then find the mass of the copper 2 sulfate, change it to moles, use that mass to find the mass of the H2O that we've vaporized, change that to moles, and then make a mole ratio out of those two, which should give you the formula of the hydrate. Excellent.